concise history of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, chapter 6.2. A few events of migration to Madinah. A few events of early migration to Madinah are presented. Number 1. The first person to migrate to Madinah was Abu Salma radiyallahu anhu. He belonged to tribe of Quraysh. His wife Salma radiyallahu anha belonged to Banu Makhzum, the tribe of Abu Jahl. When Abu Salma started this journey from Makkah to Madinah with his wife and a child, Banu Makhzum confronted them and said to Abu Salma, "You may go wherever you want, but we won't let our daughter go with you." Hence, they forcefully took away Salma radiyallahu anha and her child. Abu Salma radiyallahu anhu continued his journey to Medina all alone. When Abu Salma's tribe came to know about this, they said to Banu Makhzum, "You keep your daughter, but this child is ours." Each side pulled child to his side. Salma took pity on the child and let it go to Banu Asad of Quraysh. Now, Salma used to go to Abdah daily, every morning, where she was separated from her husband and used to keep crying bitterly till evening. About a week passed like this. Finally, one person took pity on her and requested the leaders of her tribe to let her go. They granted the permission. She recovered the child from her in-laws and started her journey on foot towards Madinah. When she was in Tan'im, where the present Masjid Asha is, Usman bin Talha saw her. He had not embraced Islam yet, and he asked her, "Where are you heading to?" She said, "Madinah." He let her ride his camel and he walked on foot and took her to Madinah. Note that after the death of Abu Salma, the Prophet ﷺ, after the death of Abu Salma, the Prophet ﷺ married Salma and she became one of the mothers of the believers. One time Salma said, "I have not seen any person more noble and honorable than Usman bin Talha among the Arabs." Usman bin Talha embraced Islam with Khalid bin Walid and Amr bin al-As before the conquest of Makkah. The Prophet ﷺ granted Usman bin Talha the keys of Baytullah after the conquest of Makkah and said that these would ever remain in his family, and whoever will try to take these from his family will be the wrongdoer. Note that these keys are still in his family even after 1400 years. Hence, Allah rewards for the good deeds in both worlds. The second event of migration to Medina. Suhaib Rumi radiyallahu anhu was not from Rome. He was an Arab. When Romans conquered part of Arab land, they took him with them as a slave in his childhood. He was brought up there and he spoke Roman. His color was fair too, In this way, he came to be known as Rumi. Later on, Romans sold him and he became a slave of Abdullah bin Jidan. According to the customs, he made a contract with his master for his freedom. He worked hard and gathered money to pay his master and was set free. He became a successful merchant of Makkah and gradually very rich. And gradually he became very rich. When he tried to migrate to Medina, the Quraysh encircled him. He told them, I have 40 arrows. Unless these arrows are used up, and I also make use of my sword, you cannot reach me. During this struggle, he told the disbelievers, if I inform you where I have buried my money, would you let me go? The disbelievers loved their lives and money. Hence they said, yes, indeed. He told them where his money was buried and they let him go. When Suhaib radhiyallahu anhu arrived in Madinah, he had nothing but the clothes on him. The Prophet ﷺ saw him and said to him with a smile, Your trading was very rewarding and beneficial. Allah also said about him in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 207. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And there are some people like Suhaib al-Rumi who would sell themselves to seek the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is extremely kind to his slaves. Subhanallah. Third event of migration to Medina. Umar bin Khattab, Ayyash bin Abi Rabia, and Hisham bin As mutually agreed to meet at a place early in the morning to start journey for migration to Medina. Umar and Ayyash arrived there on time and they migrated to Medina. The Quraysh got hold of Hisham and put him in a prison. Note that Ayyash, Abu Jahl, and Haris had same mothers but different fathers. Abu Jahl and Haris went to Ayyash in Medina and said to him, Your mother has vowed that she will not come out of the scorching sun till she sees you. She is in a very precarious condition. Ayyash took pity on his mother. Umar radhiyallahu anhu told him that they just wanted to cheat you. He said, I have some money there too. I can bring that with me. Umar radhiyallahu told him, I am ready to give you money. Ayyash insisted to go to Makkah with them. Umar radhiyallahu anhu said to him, Take my camel with you since it is very fast. If they cheat you, then you can run away on this camel. Hence, Ayyash started his journey to Makkah with them. After some time, Abu Jahl said to Ayyash, My camel is very slow. Can I sit behind you on your camel? When Ayyash camel sat, they got hold of Ayyash, tied him with ropes, and started beating him. They brought him to Makkah like this and put him in a prison with Hisham. Note that at that time the Prophet was still in Makkah. Later on, the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina and he used to make qunut or dua for Hisham and Ayyash. The Prophet ﷺ asked his companions, who will go to Makkah to help them? Khalid bin Walid's brother, Walid bin Walid, volunteered. He went to Makkah, and after finding their prison, he unchained both of them at night and brought them back to Madinah with him. Subhanallah. These are a few typical stories of early immigrants to Medina. Gradually, most of the Muslims migrated to Medina. Only the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu, Ali radhiyallahu anhu, and a few other Muslims were left in Medina. Only Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, only the Prophet, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, Ali karamallahu wajhahu, and a few other Muslims were left in Makkah, not Medina, in Makkah. They still have to wait for their migration to Medina. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم.